Welcome to Getting Started with iOSCxn. My name is Roderick. So this repository is a combination of a web API in PHP and some Swift classes and assets that you can include in your iOS project. First thing I'm going to do is clone the project to my demos directory with git clone. I'll go over here to Chrome and copy the link, paste it into my terminal window. So I'll drill down into the project, and in here in the bin folder is a file called setup.sh, and I'll go ahead and drag that into my terminal window to run it. It asks me to choose a password. I'm just going to use something easy to remember. Enter the password for the MySQL user root. I'll jump over here to PHP my admin. I've got this new database called iOSCxn, and there's an empty table called test, which has these 5 columns. All right, I'm going to jump over here to PHP Storm and create a new project. Actually, I'm going to grab the path out of here, paste it in, and create. Yes to existing sources. And I'm going to need to be able to get to this PHP file at localhost, so the next step is to link this file to my web server root. I'll do that with the ln-s command, and if I click on that link, I get to the project's www directory. Go to localhost/iOSCxn, and if I click on create, I get this JSON output. I'll go over here to PHP my admin and confirm that a record was indeed created. Okay, I'll jump back to the API and hit the back button. Let's try read. Okay, record found. Let's try update. Change the first name to Testy. Good old Testerson's getting testy. And finally, we'll try delete. Okay, Web API is good to go. What's next? Create the Xcode project. We'll open Xcode and create a new single view application. Call it iOSCxn demo. I'll just put it in my demos folder and create. Back to Finder and navigate to the Swift directory. So the assets you'll need to drag in separately. These are just some icons to make the UI pretty. And these 3 folders, connection, settings, and test, you can just drag into the project navigator. I'm just going to make my window a little bit bigger here. Select this view controller, and under editor, embed in tab bar controller. I'll drag on a storyboard reference. We'll make this test. Another one. And this will be settings. I'll hook up a couple of segues. The one I want is relationship segue, view controllers. Another one. And I don't need this original view controller anymore, so I'll just delete it. Now, one thing you may want to do is in the connection group, open up the connection class and make sure this URL is correct. And actually, this won't work at all because it's not HTTPS. So I'm going to need to add this app transport security setting to my info.plist file. Hit the plus button, type app transport, that's the one I want. Make sure this disclosure triangle is pointing down. Hit the plus button, and allow arbitrary loads is the key I'm looking for. So I'll set that to yes. Save. Okay, we should be ready to run. So I'm going to change my simulator to iPhone 5. Check my project settings, make sure my main interface is set to main, and run. All right, so here's my app. I'll type in a value for first. Test ing, make it different than before. And another. Tap create. If I scroll down a little, I can see a server message. I'll go check my PHP MyAdmin, and I can see that the record was indeed created. All right, I hope that's useful. Leave a comment if it is.